Hi everyone at 100xvc. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to present the business that we are building. My name is Keshav and I would like to introduce the brand that we are building. It is called Adya. Name Adya has been coined from two specific words. The first part, Adya, comes from Sanskrit, which means unparalleled quality and first to inhibit, and way we have taken from English. With the name, we simply wanted to communicate the very essential value proposition that we are building for our two major stakeholders, farmers as well as the consumers. And what value proposition that we wanted to communicate is that we are bringing back the traditional wisdom in the most convenient and consumable way possible through the products that we are developing and through the content that we are going to create. We are aspiring to become a digital first organic food brand, but the differentiation that we have put across is that we are covering the entire value chain. The moment a farmer prepares his or her land for sowing the seeds for the cultivation of crop till the time the end produce reaches to the final consumer for consumption, what we have done is that we have mapped out the spaces for quality standardization, efficiency building, as well as the superior quality of final processed goods that could be derived. Our specification for next 3 years is going to be in the spice category, and the value proposition and differentiation that we have been able to build during our product market fit is our spices are required, the proprietary spice mixes that we have created, in almost half in quantity as compared to any other brand or product available in the market currently. And how we are able to achieve it, what we did is that we mapped out the native cultivation location for each of the spices. In India, there is a geographical location for each of the spices where these raw harvests are of the superior quality because of the natural placement. So we procured these raw spices directly from the farmers. For the next step, what we did is that we travel across India. To give an example, we met with families in Lucknow. They used to serve in the kitchen of Nawabs 300, 400 years ago. And their spice processing technique is so precise that while they are making their mutton spice mix, the cumin used needs to be roasted to a specific color for a specific duration of time only. So what we did is that we collected all these techniques from different people that we have interviewed. That includes chefs, that includes the people who are working at dhabas since last 25 years as well, and specifically the person who is in charge of actual production of his spices. He is a chef. He used to work at a dhaba for last 22 years, and he is really good at it, what he does. At the same time, for the supervision of it, we have chefs from 4-star, 5-star hotels. So what we did is that when we created these spices, we did not realize that our quality is so rich that it is required half in quantity. So during the product market fit, when we acquired our first 500 consumers through our website by selling the lifestyle boxes, we got very negative feedback that while people were using initially that people were using their spices, their food got a very different kind of taste. So we experimented at our end. We started using little more, little less, and we realized that there is a sweet spot where our spices could be used. And with that value proposition, what we did is that we have created more than 25 proprietary flavors, and we have tested and matured these flavors in the market, just not in North India, but as well as by serving people in South India, collecting feedbacks and redoing all those things. Now where we are at in our journey is the vision of building this business is divided into three specific parts. The first part is that we want to launch our first category brand that is going to be called Adya Spices, which is going to be a heritage spice brand. And what we have done is that we are just not placing this spice brand as any other FMCG company which is out there, but we are making it experiential. With every box of heritage spice mix that you are buying through us, you will get a heritage recipe book, And at the same time, what we are doing is that we are making planning to make content around that. So when we have curated the recipe of Mughlai spice mix, we are going to create the full-fledged recipe around it. For that, what we have decided is, after this fundraise that we are doing, we are going to set up an experiential center in Delhi NCR, somewhere around Chhatarpur, because initially when we were processing the spices, all these spices were processed using through hand. Now we have created a black patthar chakki for us. These stones are procured from the riverbed of Kosi at its origin, and the history of this stone is so rich that it has been used in Uttarakhand since last 2000 to 2500 years for processing the food. So we are currently experimenting, and we are almost there, that the same quality of the final spice production that we used to do using hand and through the normal manual method, the same quality could be derived by that chakki, which is going to be operated through motor, and it is going to move at a very specific speed. So we have experimented with that, and after this round we are going to set up an experiential center where the production is going to be done. Our office is going to be set up there. At the same time, we have thought of setting up a Adya kitchen. So imagine a setup of kitchen which is furnished with mud, and in the most traditional way. At the same time, it is equipped with all the modern necessities that a kitchen requires. And at the same time, this is the place where we want to create one piece of unique content every single day. And later on, when we are going to put together the Adya Kitchen app, all these content is going to be hosted there. At the same time, these contents are going to be used for building the brand, for introduction of the brand to the consumer, and retaining them on different platforms. Now, what we have also decided is that instead of going through traditional or technical marketing methods, we have conceptualized three specific themed experiences for our consumers. That is something we are going to serve at our production unit. The first experience is going to be called Ananda, which is going to be a two-step food experience that is going to be hosted on Fridays at our production unit and processing center. On Saturdays we are going to have dabat, and on Sundays we are going to have bhoj. And the concept behind all these activities and events is, on one day we are going to invite all chefs from 4-star, 5-star hotel who are going to cook food live, and there is going to be authentic music around. At dabat we are going to host specific non-veg cuisine for non-veg lovers, and at bhoj we are going to serve pure vegetarian food, which is going to be cooked by the farmers that we have across Uttarakhand, Northeast and Kerala. We are going to invite them, and they are going to make their traditional food, and it is going to be served in the most traditional way, at the same time in the most luxurious way possible. So that is something that we have already tested. And before COVID, I used to run an experience company. So I already have a network of people through which all these experiences could be delivered easily and could just not generate the revenue. But at the same time, these experiences, while we are delivering, we can create really unique content around it that could be used for marketing and for brand building. And when we are talking about building a heritage brand, this is the strategy that we have put forward. So this is step one of the brand. Till the time we don't reach to 15 crore rupees of ARR, that is something that we are planning to achieve by fourth quarter in the B2C category. We are going to procure all these spices through Waters Foundation, with whom we have done the MOU, because what we realize is that we cannot do every single thing. We will have to keep our focus very exclusive. And when we are talking about building a farmer to consumer brand, the most important thing which is out there is that once we are directly going to interact with the farmer, how well we are able to retain them. and the retention comes from giving them orders and regular orders, because if you're giving orders for 2 months, 3 months, and then there is a gap, then we lose out on that farmer, and the trust with farmers is very fragile. So what we have decided is, as per the analysis that we have done, once we are going to hit 15 crore rupees of ARR by the fourth quarter, we will have enough requirement for the farmers at our end, that we will be able to directly reach out to them. And for that also we have mapped out very exclusive. So we have mapped out the blocks where there is a specific number of hectares of land which has been organically certified. And when we talk about organic certification in India for land, it is a 3-year long process, and there are more than 4.5 million hectares of land which is out there. Some of it is under crop area, some of them is under non-crop area, but this much land is under certification already. So when we talk about this specific space, there is a lot of quality standardization that needs to be done. At the same time, what I also wanted to add here is, people are of this notion that when farming is done using fertilizer, it gives better yield. But that is not the case. When farming is done the right way, using the right techniques, organic farming can give 10% better yield. I have studied geography from Trivimal College, and I understand this subject really well. And for that, we have recently onboarded 10 of the best agriculture universities in India. 10 of the best agriculture universities in India, and what we have decided is to create crop-wise self-training models on how to do organic farming, which is going to be initially done in Hindi, and then it is going to be scaled in vernacular languages as we move ahead. So what we have decided is to, when we are going to have 1,000 monthly retained subscribers, then we are going to launch Adya Kitchen app, which is going to be a content to commerce platform. The another channel for sales that we have initially decided in our 6 quarters long journey is that we are going to put together the Shopify website, where we are going to sell combos and boxes that we have designed. To give you an example of one of the box that we have, it is called salad box. So what does that salad box consist of is sprinklers, the ready to eat spices, and flavored glass, flavored oil in the glass jar with the spray. And it comes with a recipe book which has 11 different kind of salads that you can that could be made. We are calling it vegan salad box, and this is where we want to do the thought leadership, for example. So all a consumer needs to do, who are aspiring to at least have one meal during the day, which needs to be healthy meal, is to buy this Adya Way box, open it, get through the recipe, collect all the vegetable and fruits which is required to make that salad, sprinkle the ready to eat spices, spray the oil which is available out there, and then they are good to go. So it can come in small pouches also. People who are traveling, they can carry it along with themselves. To give you another example of the box, it is called Heritage Non-Veg Spice Mix box, which is going to consist of Heritage Mutton Spice Mix, Heritage Chicken Spice Mix, along with Chaat Masala and Heritage Garam Masala mix, and it comes with a recipe book at the same time. So once you're going to open it, then you can experience entirely. And when we operated through our website, we have already tasted these boxes, and our cart value increased up to 1150 rupees at the same time. Now this is B2C part. At the same time, on B2B side of it, we are also planning to be very aggressive. We have brought the director of EPIDA. EPIDA is Agriculture and Processed Goods Export Authority India. This is the government organization that completely manages the import and export from our country for the processed food. So Dr. Tarun Bajaj is already advising us, and we have shared some advisory equity under Hindu United Family to him also. And with his help, we are building capability that we can ship all our products across the globe anywhere that we like. And at the same time, he's also helping us build the network of the farmers who are already out there and that we want to reach out. So he has helped us bridge the gap and bridge the time a lot for us. Now in B2B segment, we are already doing sampling in Middle East market. We are also doing sampling in the UK and the US market, and we are creating our channel so that we are able to sell our products through Amazon on all these countries through a partner distribution channel. At the same time, I also want to add on is that our focus is not just to sell the Indian flavors that we have created. During this process, what we have done is that we know how to make spices. And right now, once that vegan spice mix box, it is going to be, the flavors are going to be matured in next 12 weeks almost. Then we are going to work on the authentic local flavors of the location that we are trying to serve. For example, in UK, there is a specific cuisine that people who are native to that location they consume and they cook in their houses. So now the next step of products that we are developing and that we are aspiring to mature in next 6 months is this specific range of spices, so that we, when we are operating into these market segments through white labeling, through B2B, through exports, or through selling our products through Amazon, through a third party distribution channels, we are just not catering to the Indian diaspora, but we are catering to the entire market segment which is out there. And parallelly, after the fundraise, all the compliances that needs to be done parallelly is going to take 6 months of time. So now this is one specific thing about spices. Now we want to scale this specific business for next 3 years. We have a number in mind. Till the time we don't achieve it, we don't want to introduce the next range of products through our brand, which again is going to be basis what we decide is going to be a different brand name put together. It is going to start with Adya only. Now what I wanted to add is that where the edtech part comes into the picture, you might be thinking about it. So once we have created this network and once we have booked 15 crore rupees in B2C as ARR, and once we are doing similar number in white labeling and exports, once this number is achieved, we are planning to launch our Adya farming app. This is where we are going to host the crop-wise self-training models, and it will have this option of farmers being able to list their raw spice produce which are organically certified, because we are going to create an exclusive community of organic farmers only. So we are planning to retain a specific number of farmers over a period of time. These numbers are something that could be discussed on a follow-up call or as and how we like to move ahead. So we have mapped out a journey that over a period of once we acquire a farmer or once we bring on board a farmer on our platform, it will take at least 14 to 15 months to build the efficiency that we want to build in the farmers, so that they are able to harness the actual benefit of the value proposition that we are building. So this is the step one of the vision that we have, and at the same time through the app we want to automate the B2B trading part. There is a process that we have created to it, and I would like to discuss on a follow-up call if you'd like in detail. The second step of the vision is to introduce new range of products so that we are able to increase the card value of the customers that we have acquired and retained. And the new range of products are going to be exclusively around spices and around the kitchen. So this is something that we have thought of. And the stage 3 of the vision is that we want to become an exclusive farmer to consumer brand, where we are doing the quality standardization of the cultivation of the raw harvest through Adya farming app and through Adya living app that we have designed. It is going to be an exclusively content to commerce content platform for lifestyle. So we have curated a list of activities from the moment you wake up in the morning till the time you go to bed. For each of the daily life obligations that we have, which is currently mapped out into 5 specific activities of daily life that a human being engages, there are different categories which are available, and around that there is going to be exclusive content that is going to be created, and anyone could choose all these activities and behaviors that can be added to their daily lifestyle, and accordingly they will be able to create the holistic lifestyle being for themselves. And at the same time, we have a very simple goal that we want to create the best quality of food which could be done for the human body, and at the same time we want to be conscious about the nature and planet Earth, because we believe there are only two homes which is out there. One is the body that we live in, and another is planet Earth. Rest is imagination and creativity by human beings. So this is simply a brief about the business that we are building. To answer the second question, why we are building this business is because just not for me as a team, what we have lived. I've been born and brought up in a village, and then I was fortunate enough to come to the city at a specific time, and then going through the entire cycle of life, what I realize is that when we talk about life, the new consumerism that we have built, and specifically in the food segment, organic food is just not something that we can switch to one or two or three products. If we actually want to harness the benefit of organic food, then we will have to consider it as a holistic lifestyle. From the moment we wake up in the morning till the time we go to bed, we will have to switch to organic food consumption. And only organic food consumption is not going to help, but at the same time, when it is supported by right lifestyle practices, then only we will be able to put together the right benefits, and we are able to harness the actual benefits for this human body, brain, and for the holistic well-being. And COVID-19 has given this insight and vision, and it give at least me as a founder the space to summarize what I have lived over a period of time, and how a value proposition could be built around that. And why now? Now is the best time to do anything that we believe in, and that is what we think. Just not me, the entire team members, we think so. So to answer the third question, why we are the best team to execute this, it is divided into two parts. One is the professional motivation which is out there, and then there is personal motivation which is out there. So if I talk about, we talked about that we want to build a content to consumer business. Then who do we have to build this specific part? Her name is Prasang Prakash. Previously, she was the group creative head for Fab India, and before that she was working with Forest Essentials and Biotech. And during her 12 years of professional experience, there was a time of 1.5 years when she actually worked with the farmers in Orissa on the ground under Tata Trust. And see, when we talked about these things, even before we started this business, because we know each other since last 4-5 years now, we were always very much passionate about. And when this idea was conceptualized, it was more like, okay, let's do this. And at the same time, when empathy is in sync with the vision of the brand about what is built, and at the same time it is accompanied by right skill, is something which is unique. And that is what Prasang Prakash brings on board. When I talk about, and she's going to take care of the brand and content entirely. Recently we have onboarded LK Gupta, who was previously the CMO for LG Electronics, Red Bus, Car Dekho, and before that he was India head for oral care PNG. He has over 30 years of experience. He retired, and then he has joined, he has agreed to work with us purely on equity. He is going to work with us 1 day a week through our office, and for the rest of the time he is going to work virtually with us, because for next 1 year, the kind of scope of work that we have devised, his time is quite apt. So every single rupee which is going to be spent on marketing is directly going to be managed and reported to him. So when we talk about that, someone senior who has worked his entire life, he retired, and then he has decided to come on board and help us build this brand, gives us confidence that, okay, we are on the right path and we are working something towards the same line. And at the same time, when we talk about who is going to help us build the supply chain, his name is Manish Kharab. He is son of a farmer, and he has over 8 years of experience. He was my campus alumni. He's a pass out from Hindu College and a MBA dropout from IMT Ghaziabad. And we have worked previously, and we have known each other since 4-5 years now. So when we talk about all these people who have decided to come on board and build this brand are not someone new. These are the conversation which has happened over a period of time, has summarized in the form of an idea that I decided to pursue, and then eventually we are here to move ahead and build this business. And that is the one competitive edge that we also feel, that there could be competition which can come into the market. There could be every single thing, but our competitive edge is always going to be the team that we have. To answer the fourth question, that how big this can become, I would like to add on this perspective that organic food market segment, specifically after COVID, has seen a huge growth. If we just talk about the export which is supposed to grow of organic food from India, is going to increase from $1 billion to $10 billion over next 3.5 years only, and this is the data by Epida itself. So when we are talking about this specific segment, it has a lot of growing scope which is out there, and in fact in each of the annual budget policy, government is investing more and more as compared to the last year. This year they have given exclusive space for organic farming, and they have allocated a different kind of budget, and this space is going to see a very sharp growth. So when we are talking about being associated in this space, a lot of agri-tech companies which is out there, but we have first mover advantage on working on overall value chain, and just not thinking as a D2C brand where all the products and services are being just sold, but take care of the entire value creation and standardization of the organic food cultivation. Because just to give you an example, even the food which is organically certified, 98% of irrigation in India is through river water. We all understand the quality of river water that is out there, how much pollutants it carry. So if the same water is used for irrigation, then how the end output could be organic and as per their standards. And that is one of the reason why Indian export of organic goods is saturated to $1 billion only till now. Now government is also working on the efficiency building in this specific space, but we all understand that how that moves, but that is something definitely an edge for us, because we plan to acquire farmers and bring them on board on platform who have completed that 3-year cycle, because it adds a lot of value, and after that our work becomes really easy. So now when we are talking about how big it can become, I think if you are able to even capture a marginal space in this category and build our value chain, if you are able to build a community of 1 lakh organic farmers and on the Adya farming app, and if you are able to create lifestyle content and scale it up to at least 1 million downloads, that is quite doable considering the way people are consuming content over next 48 months. I think we will be at a very we will be able to scale this business through the transaction to a very specific level. And also to add on, as a founder, I have created a PDF document where there is a 51-month cycle where I have my vision that how it can become $1 billion brand. And this is not from the unicorn perspective, this is exclusively from the business perspective and business opportunity which is lying down there. So when we are talking about building the B2C brand and then channelizing the trading through other farming app, I think within 51 months with the right partners, with the right guidance, we are able to scale this up. And where as a founder I need this help, and the team at the same time needs this help, because from the limited experience that we have and the actual on ground experience that we have on by operating, working with the farmers and collecting the consumer insights over last 1 year, we have the right techniques and right knowledge to scale this business. But now solving a problem is one thing and scaling is something else. So this is where the right partners and right investors are going to play a major role also, because this is his chain. So if whosoever partners with us in this specific round is going to help us connect and make better decisions for the next set of people who are going to be associated with the brand. So till now we would really like to work with right set of people who could help us build this $1 billion brand over 51 months, and then we could see and decide on the trajectory that how big we can make it beyond that. So we are very focused in this specific space, and our race is against the time in this manner. On the question number 4 that has been asked. So answering the 5th question, that what is the monetization strategy which is out there for the initial 5 quarters that we have talked about, we are planning to sell. We have already mapped out the keywords. We have already mapped out the traffic which is out there. And when we talked about that we could reach up to 15 crore rupees of ARR, it is quite doable. Basis the keyword analysis and average conversion rate that we have talked about. So for the first time, we want to sell all these spice boxes, and then we want to create an exclusive team of customer service. So every single box which is shipped through our company is going to be unique in terms of experience. It's the same experience is delivered in the unique way it was delivered for the first time, because customer service in this specific space is going to be the game. Because selling the first time products and boxes on 1.5 ROS at break even is also fine, but if you're able to retain and resell all these products to a consumer at least twice in 6 months also, is where we are going to make money. And also in the packaging, what we have incorporated is that anything that you buy through our brand, for the first time you get all these products in the glass jar, and next time onwards you can order the refill pouches at 35% discount up to, or up to 50% discount in some categories also. So as a brand, if a consumer has bought our product, we are already in the kitchen, in the form of the glass jar, and then we are going to retarget, remarket, and offer discounts on the refill pouches. It is going to be an exclusive customer experience management that needs to be inculcated and needs to be put across to retain these consumers for the repeat purchase. And this is where we are going to actually make the money for initial 15 months, and this is where we are completely focused. And that is the reason why we have decided to do our MOU with Waters Foundation to take care of the supply chain part basis the set standard of quality which is out there. And in the meanwhile, we want to book as much profit as we can through the exports and white labeling, and make the company EBITDA positive before the next round of funding that we go through and put across. And once we are able to achieve that, we are going to scale up the Adya farming app which is out there. And from there, the trading that we are going to do in bulk, as well as the procurement of the raw spices for other spices, what we are going to inculcate is also another space of monetization which is out there. So if we talk about just 24 months of time, these are the two major channels of monetization that we are looking at. Adding to the same monetization strategy, there is another scope which is out there. So all these organic certification for the farm needs to be renewed every year after the final certification which is done. So average cost ranges between 500 rupees per hectare, and it goes up to 20,000 rupees per hectare also, depending in the category that people are operating into. So if you talk about and calculate the numbers, this is again a very specific revenue opportunity which is out there. So we could help, and all these certification are done by a third party private agencies which are certified under NPOP. And it's a very lengthy process that someone actually visits the farm and then they write the report. And there is a very lengthy process of renewing the organic land certificate for the organic farms which is out there. And just to give you a very simple example, even the website for renewal of all these organic certification, that is of NPOP, is still in English. So there is a lot of space of standardizing those processes, of helping farmers connect with the right agency which is out there. And all these agencies have their own pricing model. So this is also something that can be later on added as the monetization strategy, moving ahead and moving forward. So answering the last question, that why would the big players not do this? Because big players, they already have their supply chain which is already established out there, and they have already diversified in all these specific segments. Just to give you an example of MDH, I know the suppliers, they supply 1,000 metric tons every quarter to these people. And when a company which is already out there, where their main focus is to scale up their business, on the brand side of it, and when they already have a supply chain built, their focus is to increase the business. They are not very much keen towards building their efficiency on the supply chain side. On the other hand, for a business like us, it is easier for us to cater to this entire model and then scale the business up, because when we are talking about organic food segment, the reason why it has not been adapted really well is because of the transparency. People still don't trust that, okay, if I'm paying for this organic food, whether it is actually organic, who has grown it, how it has been processed, how do I trust? But we have thought, we are working on an algorithm which is motivated by how the billing is done in consulting firms, and we are on this specific map of creating our own pricing and quality standardization model. So if a consumer is buying any product, they will be able to, before making the purchase, with one click they will be able to see the entire journey of the food or the final produce that they are buying. After some time, it is just not about how it has been produced, but how the land looked when it was prepared before sowing the seeds, how it looked after 3 months, and what was the quality standardization which was there. Did it go through any kind of insect attack which is out there, or how it was harvested and how it was taken in consideration, that how its richness of the quality after the harvest is also content. And then finally the processing, how it has been done to optimize the retainership of the goodness of each of the produce which is out there. So this is again a very in-depth value proposition that we have thought of doing for any company which is a big player. First of all, it is too small of a market opportunity, and it is too small of a problem for them in terms of next 2-3 years. So they will not touch this space exclusively, and also the decision making power in all these companies is really slow. And at the same time, you are here to learn, adapt, do, and then build this business in the most efficient way possible. And at the same time, I'd like to add on is that COVID has given enough space in people, which is still left, is that how important consumption of right food which is out there. So if you are able to bring this transparency over a period of next 3-4 years, and if you are able to create right products which is offered to the consumers for the value of money that they are paying, at the same time, if you are able to connect the farmers and motivate them through a qualitative pricing model in the organic segment exclusively, and we are helping them with the right skill which is also required to create that competitive harvest through the efficiency building that we are planning to do. There is a gap that we can bridge, and we can create an exclusive value proposition through the other value chain that we are planning to build, where on one hand there are the end consumers to whom we are helping with traditionally processed superior products, as well as the right lifestyle content and suggestion which is out there. And at the one hand, what we have is we have Adya farming app, through which we are helping organic farmers build their efficiency, help them just not cultivate but harvest and retain the best quality of the raw harvest, and an option to sell their raw harvest to the best of the people who are competing to pay them the right price over a period of time. So this is where we are at, and this is the unique value proposition that we have decided to build, and we look forward to hearing back from you. And one more thing that I would like to share, that if you have gone through this video, if you have gone through what we had to share, investment or no investment, that is a very different thing. But if you could just help me or help our company with your feedback, that what gaps do you think, what are the positive points that you see, where do you think we need to rework on, if there is anything that you see, if you could just help us through an email. It is a very personal request, that it will be really helpful to fill the gaps from our side, and then actually make the business a reality in the record time that we are trying to do. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to follow-up questions or anything else that you would like to know about the business. Thank you so much. Please take care, and looking forward. Take care.